Brian Wilson, but not that one. Queen's University in Belfast.
Ah, a fine institution and the workplace of several good friends, particularly Paul Simpson, who's
Not interested.
best linguist in the world.
I'm sure.
Fantastic.
Is it relevant to this section now?
Yeah, because you just mentioned Queen's University Belfast, so I just thought I'd mention Paul Simpson. Hello,
I'm
Paul.
writing to defend last week's highly controversial playing of Blue Balloon, the theme from the 1970s film Jeremy. As one of the people who attended the screening in Belfast, I knew my experience would not be on the same emotional level as Mark's. Nevertheless, I was not prepared for the bizarre experience I would end up having. Not long into the film, I realised that Glynis O'Connor, the actress who plays Susan,
is Glynis O'Connor.
Looked exactly like a girl I used to go out with in my younger and more teenage years. I was so startled by their similarities that I almost believed it was her, and that this film Mark had raved about genuinely held some kind of mystical power over me, which it didn't.
Yeah.
By the way, Mark has talked about the few people with pictures on their phones of him bleary-eyed and emotionally broken after the film. I am one of those few people.
When we did that screening and it finished, and I mean, all your sneering aside, and I'm really glad everybody enjoyed it so much. And apparently, it was the funniest thing anyone's ever heard. You going, "Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever heard." Anyway,
it was the worst thing.
Fine, brilliant. You can't break me. You know, it's not going to happen. Incidentally, I'm going to interview Robbie Benson very soon.
What are his other fine works?
Well, he was Beauty and the Beast, but currently he's now teaching, I think, performing arts in Indiana, and we've tracked him down, and he said he'd be delighted to do an interview.
Does he have any connection with George Benson?
Well, they've probably got the same surname. That was the connection. If I could finish what I was going to say, when we showed that screening at the QFT in Belfast, which was lovely, and at the end of it, it was the only second time I've ever seen it, and I was just completely speechless. I was, covered from head to foot in tears. And then afterwards, because I'd been doing a talk thing, there was that thing where people said, can we have a photo? And so there are loads and loads of people who have got photographs on their phones in Belfast of me looking like I've just had the most emotionally draining experience of my life, which indeed I have.